Whoa, we're back for another Bleach Soul Resin video. And we're doing Aizen, the Aizen boss in Tower 25 of the Strike Tower. And I just want to do this as a little demonstration because obviously, I beat this boss a little bit ago and it wasn't like super difficult. I mean, this fight doesn't go perfectly, by the way. I do want to say that I do fumble the bag quite a bit during this fight, but we're still able to get it done. There are a few things like stacking cooldowns and making sure we rotate on certain damage thresholds, get out all of Soi Fon's damage. I just think that my impressions of Soi Fon are, this character's really cool. I expect like characters, like I missed because of the rotation being kind of difficult, I missed a parry there because I'm just like, I'm kind of focusing on my cooldowns rather than, you know, just getting a parry out when I see it, right? And right there, I miss another. Yeah, I switch into Soi Fon, thankfully. So we're gonna go into her special attack, and then we're going to. Oh, we didn't even know. Oh, I don't like. Oh wait, no, maybe we're trying to get the Yodohara ult up. That probably makes sense. Yeah, this is another reason why I think Yodohara is very good. He's one of the, he's a support king, but not quite a support god for me as far as my like tier list goes. Mostly because I think when fights are putting pressure on you, Yodohara he makes the rotation a little annoying. Here we have a bug, by the way. Yeah, I've seen that happen a few times with her. There's another bug that happens with Komamura where he ults and then can't do anything in his ult and until it like literally naturally ends, and it'll just ruin a fight, which sucks. But yeah, I do think that Yodohara, for as good as he is, because we have characters like Mayuri now, is definitely showing why he's a standard character and Mayuri's like a premium character, because getting him in and getting him out without any sort of like annoying delay, and we squeeze as much damage out of our rotation here, by the way, without any annoying delay, is pretty tricky in the early fights. I mean, once Yodohara is rolling, once he gets even one rotation going where it's like everything's moving cleanly and you can just sort of swap him in during spiritual dissipation to keep his buffs up, it's not bad at all. But yeah, I do think there are times where, and we dodged the Hado number 90 there, and I do think there are times where it is very annoying to be using Yodohara in these high APM setups. And, I mean, it's obviously because she's a premium character. Not very annoying to use Soi Fon. But, Yodohara is obviously there. I mean, look, I got hit trying to do our cancel right there. And like I said, I could have delayed the dodge more. This is the thing, is like, could I have delayed the dodge and then got his special attack out and then done this or that? Of course I could have. But the reality is sort of like, if I'm trying to keep my APM up, trying to keep my DPS up, it hurts having to take those seconds of not doing literally anything just to escape the Seto. Now, of course, as a player, you can be like, well, you took more time getting hit. Of course. But when we're trying to squeeze optimal rotations out and really going for it, I mean, there are no entry requirements. In Dokkan Battle, there are entry amounts you can go into the super hard content a lot of the time. So if something like that happens, you can't just restart. You just have to like thug it out. In this game, I could just restart. I could just restart over and over trying to show you the perfect run, or I could just upload a very reasonable run, a run you could definitely imitate, right? So I figure, why go for perfect runs? I don't think that shows. There is value to a perfect run, but I think perfect runs are what we do in training mode. When we do 2-minute, perfect rotation runs in training mode, that's what that's for. When I'm fighting characters, I don't want to show you a perfect run because that's not what the character does every time. You're not always locked in doing hitting every rotation, hitting every parry, hitting every, cooldown exactly, right? Like, look at this run. Like, I demonstrated how Soi Fon's counter, like her automated switch in, it lines up with Yoruichi's cooldowns really easily. But guess what? I can't just do that mindlessly when I'm actually in a fight, right? And neither can anyone, right? 10 million on the ult there, by the way. Pretty good. Brings him into spiritual dissipation. And yeah, it is what it is, right? Do I think that Yoruichi or Soi Fon could never get any sort of buffs? I mean, of course not, right? We'll talk about that more later, but I think for what she does on average, her average performance, I think it looks really good. I don't have any problem with Soi Fon at all. I think she's a really solid character, and we're doing this without Core Stamp, of course, again, and Core Stamp is huge for the character, it looks like, at least. Like, I think Core Stamp is not ignorable at all, but we can see as we sort of like count down the moments here, we had 10 million damage that we needed to do when, oh no, not 10 million damage. We had 10 bars of HP we needed to do when we had a minute left. We're now at 4 bars left, and we've got ults and stuff coming up, right? We don't, like, we're hitting, and does that like bug? I think I missed. That's crazy. That's another thing. If there's one thing I'd say about Soi Fon, you want to change her in any way, make that stuff more consistent. That's a buff right there. Because I've had a few times I've ulted, and she just fucking misses. So this fight, actually, like, taking as long as it did, comes down to, like, I think missing that ult, if I'm honest. Like, that ult is, you know, it just did 10 million damage, right? So I'm 10 million damage down right now. We get the dodge there, and we just go in. Again, it lines up with our actual leaving, and then we get the technique, swap out. Such good animation cancel there. We're going to go into Yoruichi, I imagine. Yes, sir. It's going to knock him out of his Hado number 90. Yep. Really, really well. Really well done. We get the extension off of the counter where we get a stomp. Perfect. We do get hit there, costs us a few seconds, but at this point I was like, we're not losing. Even with 10 seconds left, we can do 1 bar in 10 seconds. So we get our attacks done. We send him into Spiritual Dissipation and swaggy looking. Hit him with that thing, and then I assume pop out to Yoruichi and finish it. Bang, 4.6 million there. Again, we're not getting sting damage on that. We don't have the core stamp, and we can go to the outro, get to the numbers, etc. And there you have it. I mean, pretty easy does it. 45 million from Soi Fon during the actual fight, nearly 1 million DPS. Cutting it a little close, obviously. I'm not gonna act like, oh, we had 30 seconds left to beat him, but I mean, it's this is two standard banner characters. This is Yodohara with no dupe 2. This is Yoruichi, not a dupe 6. I mean, I don't know. The conversation around Soi Fon is sort of interesting. You see, I've already defeated this before, so it's not like this was like, oh, a surprise. But even with making mistakes, you see I'm number 38 in Trial Tower, which is pretty cool. I have only, for those wondering, I have this one remaining. Still, I mean, look at this team. I still haven't beaten Slash Trial 3, right? Same amount of dupes. Right? Same amount of dupes. I've got B1 Kenpachi. Haven't beaten this one. Same amount of dupes. I got, actually, that's a lie. Less dupes because I do only have B0 Aizen. I think it's worth mentioning. I don't know. I think Soi Fon gets her job done. I don't really have too many complaints. I think she's difficult. I think that the run I initially did was better. I had more time remaining. I dodged better. I hit more parries, but I don't come on here and show you the best version of a run, typically. I just show you what the run looks like, just so it's obvious that, like, hey, with these tools, without having to, you know, do too much, this character does what you expect them to do, right? Of course, we do have B1. By the way, we still don't have Core Stamp. Still waiting on Core Stamp. We're still waiting on her Boundary, by the way. We don't have her Boundary up, so this is much less than she should be getting. You know, she'll be getting double what she's getting on that. Again, Boundary or Core Stamp completely missing. I mean, I'm just using a general boost one because I figured why not. That's really it, right? Like, Yoruichi hasn't changed any. She's still got all of her stuff. I mean, Boundary 3 is as high as she went. Don't got Boundary 4. This would be really good. Stomping Strike. Don't have Boundary 6. This would be extremely powerful, by the way. If I had Boundary 6, we'd be having a different conversation. But all of Yoruichi's power is coming from Soi Fon. So I'm seeing people talk about Soi Fon as if, you know, she's not doing damage, she's not doing this, she's not doing that. Everything that Yoruichi gets done is off the back of Soi Fon. Like, flatly. You know? It's a great character. I don't know. Could she stand to be better, more explosive singularly? Sure. But I think at that point, you want every character to sort of be the same, I guess. I don't know. I'm top 81 in this at this point as well, so You know, we've got a general, we're ranking pretty high. I mean, we're almost 3 days out. 3 days out is usually when we start getting replaced. But yeah, you can see I'm 400 points away from being top 1 on the strike team, right? You know, like, and this person, I mean, this person's not even using strike. They're using, like, probably just whale characters. Yeah, they're using whale characters, right? Like, think about that. Like, as I go in here, like, they don't even care, right? These are just whale characters. It's just this is literally just 6 dupe. Nothing against them, by the way. It's just literally just 6 dupe Nell just doing everything, right? So I'm 400 points off of being close to matching, like, literally dupe 6 Nell. Like, that's B1 Soi Fon doing that. I don't know. I think I'm pretty impressed by her. I have a lot of thoughts, I guess, with Soi Fon, because it seems like this is the first time the community's really been divided in any way. Sort of looking at oh yeah, I'm going here. Sort of been divided in any way. I'm still like chasing this. This would be very good. I'm at 40%. If I hit the 40%, it'd be huge. I don't really regret grabbing extra copies of Nell and Mayuri's core stamps. It just means that this becomes delayed for me, sadly. But this is a huge thing that we're missing, because I'm always critting on the ult, essentially. So not having a sting proc here, not getting this boost here, not having the ultimate damage here, not having the 150% crit bonus here, like, these are meaningful, you know, these are meaningful buffs I'm not having to this character, right? You're not even seeing, my Soi Fon isn't even operating at, like, max capacity. And I mean, by comparison, like, there are some core stamps that, beyond, like, the more meager boost they give, I mean, Kenpachi's a good example of a really good one. The thing that matters a lot on them is just getting this crit rate, though, right? I mean, that's, like, one of the bigger sources of, like, buffs. So if I didn't have this, I'd be 20% crit rate down, which means that oh my god, I'm just at 67 instead of 87, 89, maybe even, you know, 90 at some points in the fight. Like, these things matter. But until then, you know, we'll just go over here and just say, by the way, also, you know, we're still ranking pretty high in the Desperate Clash as well. I mean, we can check out, like, how are we doing, like, tangential. I mean, yeah, not bad at all, right? I mean, we're placing, and we're not, like, far off of placing in the other ranks either. We cleared we're clearing all this content. It's pretty light for us as well. It's not like oh my god, this is so impossible, right? We're getting all our missions done. I need to come back in here and grab this one, defeat 10 enemies using a lightning strike and a single thunder break. This is the only one where I need to, like, sit down and, like, do it. I think this is the only one where you need to, like, actually, like, with a fine-tooth comb, make sure you're actually getting this. But the others, I didn't have any problem hitting at all. I think about Soi Fon, I just shrug my shoulders. I'm like, I don't know what people want. You could give her everything. You could give her, you know, 300% more damage on everything. Her technique does this. Her sting scales like this. Her blah, blah, blah does this and that. And, I mean, you could, but I don't mind characters getting and providing damage their own way. And I think a lot of Soi Fon's problems are just being anchored to free-to-play characters. I don't think they're her problems. I think they're team problems. But I mean, the thing is, we sort of all thought that, like, Soi Fon would come in and be the only character needed, but has that really happened on any team? Like, most of these teams, even the cherished Thrust team, they needed the characters around them. You know, Nell and Gin and Mayuri, like, this team just kept getting better, better, and better. You know how they kept getting better, better, better? It's because they just kept releasing characters in a row for them. And that's what Soi Fon is going to have soon. When Grimjaw comes out, I mean, you're going to see a real power jump, right? Same thing with, like, Sosuke Aizen and Toshido Hitsugaya getting buffs, and now we're getting Zé Lapero in 2.5 weeks or something like that, right? Like, you're going to see that jump. It's going to be very noticeable. But Yeah, all that's to say, I mean, I don't need to show, you know, I guess I'll just put the stats on screen really quickly, but I don't need to like go over my stats right now. I haven't changed it much. She's getting about like 80% or something like that crit rate in total during the fight. Or what is it? 80%, 30, 70%. It's probably like 90% actually during the fight. Crit damage, a little bit of ultimate charge, and then 100%, 108% ailment damage, and you know, nothing else changed with Yoruichi. Just really quickly, I'm just gonna end the video after this, but I just want to make sure people, you know, see a bunch of crit damage, ultimate charge rate on this character. No boundary too, which would help a lot, by the way. 15% more damage is very strong. But yeah, that's gonna do it for now. I don't have any problem with Soi Fon. I know people are calling for buffs. Some people, I think it's, like I said, I think it's very divided. I think the character's kind of hard too. Definitely the hardest character we've gotten so far, and it kind of fits, right? I think it's cool to have a very micro-intensive character. But I've been Lone. Like if you liked the video, subscribe to join the club. We all go make it, and peace.